Well, I'd like to start today's presentation with a thank you, a heartfelt amount of gratitude for the love and prayers. You guys, thank you so much. I got wonderful affirmations in my email, personal calls, and the love. You know, we all have to stay together. It's just really important for the world for there to be this kind of love, this kind of caring. The subject of today is about love. And I think my speech is supposed to be called The Elements of True Love. Well, these are the elements of true love. I'm going to start off today by talking a little about Thich Nhat Hanh's book. He wrote something called, what is it called? Oh, Teachings on Love. And in it, he outlines that there are 4 immeasurable minds. We simplify it. We only got one big immeasurable mind. He's got 4 in the Buddhist tradition. And in those 4 minds are, love, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Okay, bit of a reach, huh? Okay, now, what he says, and this is a quote, if we learn ways to practice love, compassion, which I kind of put in the same category, joy and equanimity, we will know how to heal the illness of anger, sorrow, insecurity, sadness, hatred, loneliness, and unhealthy attachments. Especially that unhealthy attachment stuff. You got to really watch out for that. I used to be very unhealthily attached to steaks. Excuse me. Anyway, so how do we practice these 4 immeasurable minds? Well, what they're saying here, what Thich Nhat Hanh essentially is saying is you should do affirmations. And here are his examples of a few affirmations you could do to expand your immeasurable mind in this way. So first, loving kindness. You want to repeat daily whenever you can, may all beings experience acceptance, trust, sufficiency, and safety. Amen. I think that's a little convoluted, but I like it. You know, it's got meaning and strength and purpose. How about compassion? When you see someone struggling, you say to them, I see your struggle and suffering. I have also struggled and suffered. I extend my heart of care to you as I know this does not feel good. Boy, I'll say struggle and suffering does not feel good. May your struggle and suffering pass soon. So that's kind of an affirmation and a bit of, helpful advice. I don't know. Compassion, understanding. Okay, joy. This is the other immeasurable mind. Start the day with a question. What joy may come today? Opening your heart, your mind, and your soul and your life to a joy that you don't know what it is yet. I like that idea. What joy may come today out of this vast storehouse of riches that God bestows on us? What joy could I have today? And inevitably, because I do believe in science of mind completely, you will receive joy. And if your bathtub of a design is big enough, it will be a huge amount of joy. Okay, and then equanimity. I was a little surprised that there was an unmeasurable mind of equanimity, but this is it. That sounds like get out of judgmentalism to me. As often as you can, state quietly in your mind, at this moment, I trust God as the source of my supply. So I have to tell you, I had difficulty understanding how that blended with my mental idea of what equanimity is, but I'm just going to accept it as trust. Trust God, trust life, trust love. Now, as I began my personal exploration of the ideas of true love, I have to tell you that if you look at Ernest Holmes, Ernest does his level best to stay off topics that he doesn't have a really good descriptor for. So I'm going to give you the Ernest Holmes look at true love. Ernest Holmes says, love is the central flame of the universe, nay, the fire itself. Now, I like that, but I'm not too sure exactly what it means. I like it a lot, right? The flame itself. It is written that God is love, and the essence of love, while elusive, pervades everything. Now, I hope that fills you with a whole lot of knowing, but what I got out of that is it's big. God is really big and powerful, and we have no idea exactly what we're talking about. So now love, and the last one from Ernest Holmes, he says, love defies analysis. I actually am comfortable most with that. It's really kind of difficult to analyze it, but nonetheless, because that's the kind of person I am going to analyze love today. Because that's what I do. So a lot of people damp down this creative flame of love, and they do that because of conditioning. And so childhood trauma is one form of conditioning that prevents people from being loving. I know because I experienced that personally. I had a lot of trauma in my childhood, and I had a lot of trouble getting close to people for decades. It took me a long, long time to learn to trust. And I had never, until this exact moment, put how close together trust and love are. To really be able to allow yourself to love, you need to be in a state of trust. I like that. It's meaningful to me personally at the heart level. A lot of people fear disapproval, right? And they have unhealed grief. Things go wrong, and they have no way to adjust themselves to those losses. And it's important to face our own inner shadows. In other words, if there are things that are blocking us from being loving, from expressing true love, a lot of them have to do with learned behaviors, trauma, difficulty that happened earlier when we were younger. And you need to call each one of those up into the light. Take a look at them, turn them over. Do you have that trust in God? Then you can trust God with anything. So you can trust God to take care of your childhood, to take care of your grief and loss, to take care of your sadness. So it may be possible that we're not here to get through life safely. Maybe one aspect of love is that we face problems. Maybe one aspect of love is that we grow from them, that we change, modify, uplift, expand. And I don't know about you guys, but a lot of the problems in my life have helped me to grow. In fact, without some of them getting really, really bad, I wouldn't have been desperate enough to do anything about them. Sometimes you need to be at that brink in order to say, I'm willing to surrender to the trust of God. So I'm living proof, actually, that doing that surrendering and trusting God really, really works and works well. But Helen Keller put it this way. She said, life is either a daring adventure or nothing. She calls out the worst of evil, apathy, not caring, and the illusion of security. See, I feel totally secure, but I don't feel totally secure in the sense that nothing bad is ever going to happen. I feel totally secure in the sense that that which is me at the center of me is impervious to harm. I cannot be harmed. Even if I wanted to harm it, I couldn't. Because the me, the real love of God remains consistently, always and ever, unchangeable, unchanged, sufficient unto itself. So life is either beautiful, loving, or joyful, or could be violent and chaotic. Life includes death. I mean, death is obviously a part of life. Everybody has to go through it. Everybody has to experience it and the loss that comes from having others that you love. Uh, we have a friend who's been here to the center a couple of times, who now has moved away. And he and his wife are both desperately ill. Desperately ill. And I'm so sad for them, and at the same time, restful inside, knowing that whatever happens, they are always the love of God and will always be okay. Always. So Marcus Aurelius, I always love this quote because it puts everything in perspective. He said, all things come from one source, from that ruling reason of the universe, either under a primary impulse from it or by way of consequence, and therefore the gape of the lion's jaws and poison and all noxious things such as thorns and mire are but the results of the grand and the beautiful. Look not then on these as alien to that which thou dost reverence, and turn thy thoughts to the one source of all things. The one source of all. So maybe our great task is to learn to love that which we don't like. Maybe that's the great task that's here for us. To learn to love even that which is noxious, stuck in the mire, covered in mud, thorny. I've had a lot of thorny situations in life. I could have learned to love them. Maybe I still can. Right? I still got time, right? Oh, by the way, I know you know this, but you know I turned 87. That's a kind of amazing. I never thought I'd live to be this old. Who would have thunk it? Anyway, so we have a choice. We can live at the lowest level of consciousness. You know what the lowest level of consciousness is? Life is happening to me. That's the lowest level of consciousness. I have nothing to say about it. It's a happening thing and it's happening to me. Poor me, poor me. That is the lowest level of consciousness. From there, you can go only one way, and that's up. It's extremely difficult to be in a science of mind with science of minders for any length of time and sustain that idea. You either leave or you change. That's what happened to me. I leave or change. I walked in thinking I was a victim. After the first day I was there, I decided I had it all wrong. I was not a victim after all. I was, in fact, surrounded by the love of God. So the other aspect, the second worst place to be in is to try to intellectualize a methodology for controlling life. That works really well too. That's called codependence. And that's the second lowest level of consciousness. And I would think then that that would make the ultimate most high level of consciousness love and trust. Love and trust. Be way the hell up there. So I'm going to go through a brief description of what the world thinks of when it says the word love. And these are actual definitions in the dictionary, and I think they're funny. So if you listen to them carefully, see how far away they are from science of mind. Okay, the first one is a strong feeling of affection and concern. I don't like that one. Toward another person as arising from kinship or close friendship. A strong feeling of affection and concern for another person, accompanied by sexual attraction. A feeling of awareness and concern by God toward humans. Sexual desire or activity. The feeling of pleasure given from, for example, a night of love. An instance of being in love. Being in love being different than love itself. A person for whom one has strong feelings or affections. So, for example, this is the love of my life. Okay. Used as a term of endearment for any such person, I love. And an emotional attachment to something. Like I love watching movies. That's an emotional attachment to an activity. As a pet or treasured object, I am Brigida's treasured object. She owns me. As an expression of one's affection, to be loved. The object of such an enthusiasm, in the sense of being the love of somebody else, something else. In sports, in tennis, it's 0. That was the best I could do for a joke. Just an aside, I did try to find good, clean jokes about love, and it's not easy. I mean, I could find jokes about love that were clean, but they weren't good, weren't funny. Anyway, most of these definitions are looking at love, right? But they have one flaw for us, and that is they're all about results. They're all in the world of experience, action, in the result category. But what we're talking about when Science of Mind, we talked about love, we're talking about cause. You're talking about love as cause changes your whole idea of how you want to describe what's going on. Now, this person is not an object of my love. This person is an outpouring of my love. This situation is an expression of my love. It's not a separate thing. So, as Ernest Holmes says, God is love. Love is then always cause. Cause. We must be saying that love is a state of cosmic being. So since I am the love of God, I am currently right now standing before you in a state of cosmic being. How do I look? Pretty cosmically? Well, cosmically thinking, I would say that I have been the recipient of so much love recently, so delighted by it. I've discovered I now am slightly addicted to it and would appreciate more of this forever. Please. So, if what we are really is an experience of, we're talking about love, we're talking about an experience of the state of being. So when we talk about what's going on inside of us emotionally, we're talking about a result of our own being love. So what we are naturally calling love is really the experience we're having inside of our bodies, not the love itself. It's the effect of the love. So as God, as love, you express, and as you express, it creates feelings within you and evidence in the real world. Just like all expressions of mind do, they create experience in the real world. But don't confuse the experience in the real world with the cause. I may never know the full extent of that cause. I may only be able to experience it as my emotion or as something that happens in the real world. But I have to know that it's there. I have to know that my cosmic being is there, that it is expressing as itself. When you're being loving, you're expressing as yourself. That's amazing. That's a totally different way. Different way of looking at love. It's not something I do. It's something I am. I be this. Okay. So we need new vocabulary, because when the pen tries to write about love, it just runs out of ink. So one of the new ways that I found looking at love was in my wife's poetry book. Brigida writes a lot of poetry, and she writes well. And so I'm going to read you one of the poems she wrote on this subject which I believe sums it up perfectly. If love is only what I think, I might run out of thoughts. If love is only what I say, I might run out of words. If love is only what I sing, I might run out of song. If love is only what I do, I might run out of deeds. If love is only what I share, I might run out of shares. If love is only what I give, I might run out of gifts. If love is only what I feel, I might, alas, run dry. But if love is who I really am, your heart is safe with me. Love is who I truly am. Your heart is safe with me. I love that. If love is truly who I am, your heart is safe with me. Your heart and your heart and your heart. You're safe with me. And I'd like to believe that that's the truth for every person in this room. That your heart, each of us, holds the other's heart in safety and in love. Okay. So I found another really good write-up on this by Richard Rohr. Now, Richard Rohr is a Franciscan priest, I believe, and he writes a lot of 12-step literature. But in this case, I believe he has nailed love for us pretty well. And he put it this way. He said, love is not something you do. Love is something you are. It is your true self. Love is where you came from. Love is where you're going. It is not something you can buy. It's not something you can attain. It's the presence of God within you. Uncreated grace. Always there. You are not a creation of God. You are not. Because you are God. You're not created. You're an expression of the one. You didn't get built separately. You've always been part of God. You cannot be anything else. And you cannot be anything else other than the love of God. Go ahead, try to be something different. You can certainly give it a shot. It's not going to work. So perhaps the reason I can't really define love properly is because it's everything. It's really hard to define everything. Maybe if I had a long enough up here, I could spend a few thousand years and get it right. Holmes says that all is love and all is law. Both love and law are perfect. And we as individuals experience only what we really believe. Let's believe in love. And let's go to whatever heights we may. And I want to close with a quote from Hafiz. I like this one. I think you might want to memorize this because we all like rewards, don't we? I mean, if you do something and you do it well, you should be rewarded. So Hafiz says, you will find yourself knee-deep in ecstasy when all your talent to love has reached their heights. As soon as you get really good at this, you're going to find yourself knee-deep in ecstasy. God, I like that. I'm a knee-deep in ecstasy kind of guy. Anyway, I thank you so much for allowing me to speak today and for loving me. God. And now for a closing alignment. Join me in knowing the truth. Let us know that there is only one, and that one is God, that one is love, that one is joy and peace and all the other fantastic and wonderful states of cosmic being, and we are it as well. We know that our oneness with spirit is deep, profound, forever, and felt, not only known and trusted, but felt. So we also know that right here today in this room, there's an immense amount of love. I can feel it jumping from person to person, overlaying any sadness or anxiety or difficulties in life, because love is the ultimate cure for everything. So we can relax into that. You know that your heart is safe with me, and I know that my heart is safe with you. I can turn that truth over to this incredible law of mind that is subject to my thought. And when I do that, I know it is already done. It is the truth in our lives now. We turn it over, and with great thanksgiving and full of gratitude, we say, and so it is.